Tony Knight was an actor and comedian who had a knack for making people laugh, and he was lighting up the stage worldwide with his stand-up routines before his untimely demise. Tony Knight, death by tree branch. On June 7, 2024, Knight was attending the Rock and Cars Festival in Lavore, France. He was enjoying the day when suddenly a freak wind came up, snapping a large branch from a tree, and as if that branch had eyes, headed straight for him. He died instantly. He was 54. If you're a fan of Toto or a lover of incredible drumming talent, then you're probably familiar with the legendary Jeff Porcaro. His career as a drummer is nothing short of remarkable. Porcaro rose to fame as the drummer for the band Toto, known for their hits like Africa and Rosanna. His impeccable timing and technical skill behind the drum set helped define Toto's sound and solidify their place in rock history. Death by insecticide. On the evening of August 5, 1992, the music world mourned the loss of Jeff Porcaro. At just 38 years old, he tragically passed away after falling ill while spraying insecticide in his yard. The Los Angeles County coroner spokesman revealed that Porcaro's untimely death was attributed to a heart attack caused by an allergic reaction to the pesticide he had inhaled. Glenn Shadix was an American actor and comedian. He was known for his role as Otho in Tim Burton's horror comedy film Beetlejuice, and as the voice of the mayor of Halloween Town in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Glenn Shadix, death by kitchen sink. On September 7, 2010, according to Glenn's sister Susan Genya, he tripped and fell in the kitchen at his condominium. Hitting his head on the sink, he died of blunt trauma to his head. Bob Saget was an American stand-up comedian, actor, and television host. He portrayed Danny Tanner on the sitcom Full House from 1987 to 1995, and its sequel Fuller House from 2016 to 2020, and was the original host of America's Funniest Home Videos from 1989 to 1997, and the voice of narrator Ted Mosby on the sitcom How I Met Your Mother. Bob Saget, death by nightstand table. On January 9, 2022, Saget was found dead in his room at a Ritz-Carlton hotel near Williamsburg in Orange County, Florida. An autopsy report released on February 9th found that he had blunt head trauma from an accidental blow to the back of his head, most likely from falling backwards and hitting his head on the nightstand table. The world of music was left in shock when the talented French singer-songwriter Barbara Weldens tragically passed away on stage during a festival performance. Known for her soulful voice and captivating lyrics, Weldens had just released her debut studio album in February 2017. Barbara Weldens, death by electrocution. Weldens was on tour and was performing in the town of Gourdon in southwest France for the festival Léo Ferré when she collapsed on stage at about midnight on the 19th of July 2017 and was pronounced dead of cardiac arrest. She was 35. An autopsy confirmed that she had been electrocuted. She normally performed barefoot, and her foot made contact with a defective piece of electrical equipment. Joe Spinell was an American character actor who appeared in films in the 1970s and 80s, best known for his supporting roles in The Godfather, 1972, and The Godfather Part II, 1974, and Rocky and Taxi Driver, both in 1976. Joe Spinell, death by glass shower door. Spinell died in his apartment on January 13, 1989, at the age of 52. Sometime during that morning, he cut himself really bad on his glass shower stall door after apparently slipping in the bathtub while showering. Soon afterward, he fell asleep on his living room couch instead of calling for help, and he bled to death. Gregory Plitt, an actor and fitness model. Plitt gained recognition for his role in the Bravo television series Workout. Gregory Plitt, death by locomotive. Tragedy struck in Burbank, California on January 17, 2015, when Plitt's life was cut short at the young age of 37. While filming an energy drink video at the train station, Plitt, while apparently trying to outrun the train and jump across the tracks, was run over and killed by a train locomotive. Victor Sen Young was an American character actor, best known for playing Jimmy Chan in the Charlie Chan films and Hop Sing in the Western series Bonanza. Victor Sen Young, death by natural gas. Victor died in his North Hollywood home in 1980, age 65. The actor, who ran a small mail-order Chinese pottery business, was creating clayware and curing the items with an oven, and died of natural gas poisoning from a gas leak. The eulogy at his funeral was given by fellow Bonanza actor Pernell Roberts, who also paid the funeral expenses. Ola Brunkert was a member of ABBA's backing band during their heyday in the 1970s and early 80s. Brunkert's drumming skills provided the rhythmic foundation for countless ABBA classics, such as Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia, Waterloo, and many more. Ola Brunkert, death by glass door. Brunkert died after an accidental fall at the age of 61. Tripping while heading to the dining room, he hit his head against a glass door, shattering the glass and badly cutting himself in the neck. He managed to wrap a towel around his neck and leave the house to seek help, but collapsed and died in the garden. Butterfly McQueen was an American actress. McQueen appeared as Prissy in Gone with the Wind, 1939. She also appeared in the films Cabin in the Sky, 1943, Mildred Pierce, 1944, and Duel in the Sun, 1946. Butterfly McQueen, death by kerosene lamp. McQueen died at age 84 on December 22, 1995, at Doctors Hospital in Augusta, Georgia, from burns sustained when a kerosene lamp she attempted to light malfunctioned and burst into flames, catching her clothes on fire. Terry Allen Kath was an extraordinary musician and was the founding member of the legendary rock band Chicago. Also born and raised in the Windy City, he was not only a gifted guitarist, but also a talented singer and songwriter. Terry Allen Kath, death by stupidity. Kath enjoyed target shooting and by 1978 was regularly carrying guns. On January 23, 1978, at a party at the home of roadie and band technician Don Johnson, Kath began to play with his guns. He spun his unloaded .38 revolver on his finger, put it to his temple, and pulled the trigger. Johnson warned Kath several times to be careful. Kath picked up another pistol and, leaning back in a chair, said to Johnson, "Don't worry about it. Look, the clip is not even in it." His last words were, "What do you think I'm going to do? Blow my brains out?" He died instantly from the gunshot at the age of 31, 8 days before his 32nd birthday. Claude Franois, also known by the nickname Clo-Clo, was a French pop singer, composer, songwriter, record producer, drummer, and dancer. Franois sold an astounding 35 million records during his career. Claude Franois, death by crooked light fixture. After working and recording a television special for the BBC on Saturday the 11th of March 1978, Franois returned to his Paris apartment. While taking a bath, he noticed that the light fixture was not straight on the wall. He stood up, tried to straighten it, and was electrocuted. Charles McGraw, a remarkable stage, film, and television actor, with a career that spanned over 3 decades. McGraw was the lead in The Narrow Margin, 1952, and was a villain in Thunder Over the Plains, 1954. McGraw's other notable role was as Kirk Douglas's gladiator trainer in the epic Spartacus, 1960. Charles McGraw, death by shower door. On July 29, 1980, McGraw died accidentally at his home in Studio City, California, when he slipped in the bathroom and fell through the glass shower door, causing several cuts, including a large gash to his arm that severed the brachial artery. He bled to death before paramedics arrived. Danny Cedrone was an American guitarist and band leader, best known for his work with Bill Haley and the Comets, recording the smash hit Rock Around the Clock in 1954. Rock Around the Clock was the first monster hit of rock and roll and the biggest selling rock and roll record of all time. Danny Cedrone, death by staircase. On June 17, 1954, 10 days after recording Rock Around the Clock and 3 days before his 34th birthday, he died of a broken neck after tripping and falling down a staircase. French actor Gaspard Ulliel a rising star in the movie industry. He was best known for his remarkable portrayal of Hannibal Lecter in the film Hannibal Rising. Tragically, he had his life cut short at the young age of 37 due to a freak accident. Gaspard Ulliel, death by collision skiing. In a freak skiing accident on the 19th of January 2022 at the La Rosière ski resort, Ulliel left the top of a blue ski run. He collided with another skier and both fell to the ground. The other skier didn't suffer any injuries, but Ulliel didn't get up and was airlifted to the nearby Grenoble University Hospital Center, where he was pronounced dead. John Denver, his career was nothing short of extraordinary. With his soulful voice, heartfelt lyrics, and undeniable talent, he became one of the most iconic figures in the music industry. From his humble beginnings to international stardom, his breakthrough came with hits like Take Me Home, Country Roads, Rocky Mountain High, and Annie's Song, but he had his life cut tragically short in what many may not know was a freak accident. John Denver, death by fuel gauge switch. In a tragic accident, Denver died on the afternoon of October 12, 1997, when his light home-built aircraft, a Rutan Long EZ, crashed into Monterey Bay near Pacific Grove, California, while making a series of touch-and-go landings at the nearby Monterey Peninsula Airport. Being low in one tank, Denver attempted to switch fuel tanks. The NTSB said switching fuel tanks required the pilot to turn his body 90 degrees to reach the valve. This created a natural tendency to extend one's right foot against the right rudder pedal to support oneself while turning in the seat, which caused the aircraft to yaw, nose right, and pitch up, thus causing the crash. Keith Reef was the lead vocalist and harmonica player for the legendary band The Yardbirds. Reef played an integral role in shaping the sound of the band. His distinctive voice and energetic stage presence captivated audiences around the world. With hits like For Your Love and Heart Full of Soul, the Yardbirds became one of the most influential bands of their time. Keith Reef, death by electric guitar. In a freak accident on May 12, 1976, Yardbirds legendary singer Keith Reef died in the basement of his house while playing an electric guitar. He was only 33 years old. He was electrocuted when he stood on a gas pipe. Since the instrument was ungrounded, the electrical current resulted in him being electrocuted. Singer Dick St. John was a member of the 1960s male-female duo group Dick and Dee Dee, along with Dee Dee Sperling, which was formed in 1961 in Santa Monica, California. They mainly recorded on the Liberty record label up until the mid-1960s, often appearing with the likes of the Beach Boys and the Rolling Stones. Dick St. John, death by ladder. Dick St. John passed away on December 27, 2003, at the age of 62. He died from injuries he suffered after falling from a ladder outside his Pacific Palisades home. Martha Mansfield was an American actress in silent films and vaudeville stage plays. Mansfield was a musical comedy star in New York City by the time she entered films in 1916. Her most famous movie role was as Millicent Carew in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, 1920. Martha Mansfield, death by match. On November 29, 1923, while working on location in San Antonio, Texas on the film The Warrens of Virginia, Mansfield was severely burned when a tossed match ignited her Civil War costume of hoop skirts and flimsy ruffles. Mansfield was playing the role of Agatha Warren and had just finished her scenes and was walking to her car when her clothing burst into flames. She died the following day from her injuries. Steve Peregrin was an English musician and songwriter. He was in the band Tyrannosaurus Rex alongside Mark Bolan. Their distinctive blend of folk and psychedelic rock captivated audiences during the late 1960s. Steve Took, death by cocktail cherry. Steve Took died on Monday the 27th of October, 1980. Took's death certificate records the cause of death as asphyxiation after inhaling a cocktail cherry. Buddy Clark, an iconic American singer of the big band era. His popularity propelled him to great heights, especially in the late 1940s. After serving in World War II, Buddy Clark returned to the stage and quickly established himself as one of the nation's top singers and a household name. Buddy Clark, death by just plain bad luck. On Saturday, October 1st, 1949, hours after the 37-year-old had completed a Club 15 broadcast on CBS radio with the Andrews sisters, Clark joined 5 friends in renting a small plane to attend a college football game in Stanford, California. On the way back to Los Angeles after the game, the plane ran out of fuel, lost altitude, and crashed on Beverly Boulevard in West Los Angeles. Payne Stewart was an American professional golfer who won 11 PGA Tour events, including 3 major championships, the last of which came just a few months before his tragic accident at the age of 42. Payne Stewart, death by cabin decompression. On October 25, 1999, a private jet took off from Orlando International Airport for Texas with the reigning U.S. Open golf champion Payne Stewart on board. It never reached its destination. The aircraft plunged from the sky, killing its 2 pilots and 4 passengers. The jet crashed after the cabin depressurized, starving the occupants of oxygen. Fighter jets were scrambled and tracked the flight, but were powerless to intervene. Jack Cassidy was an American actor, singer, and theater director known for his work in the theater, television, and films. He also received 2 Primetime Emmy Award nominations, and he was the father of teen idols David Cassidy and Sean Cassidy. Jack Cassidy, death by cigarette. In the early morning of December 12, 1976, Cassidy lit a cigarette and fell asleep on his Naugahyde couch. Asleep, he dropped the cigarette, igniting the couch. By the time he was found, Cassidy needed to be identified by dental records. Bo Diaz was a professional baseball player. He played in Major League Baseball as a catcher from 1977 to 1989, most prominently with the Cleveland Indians, where he was an American League All-Star in 1981, and later with the Philadelphia Phillies, where he was a member of the 1983 National League pennant winning team. Bo Diaz, death by satellite dish. On November 23, 1990, Diaz was killed when a satellite dish he was adjusting on the roof of his home fell on him and crushed his neck and head. He was 37 years old at the time of his death. Mark Frechette's breakthrough came when he landed a role in the critically acclaimed film Zabriskie Point, directed by Michelangelo Antonioni. This role propelled him into the spotlight and garnered him recognition for his exceptional performance. However, despite his initial success, Mark's acting career unfortunately faced some challenges along the way. He struggled to find roles that matched the level of acclaim he received early on. 3 years later, Frechette was arrested following an attempted bank robbery and sent to prison. Mark Frechette, death by weightlifting. On September 27, 1975, Frechette, at just 27 years old, had his life cut short in a tragic accident while he was in prison. Reports suggest that during a weightlifting session, a 150-pound barbell fell on his neck, leading to his suffocation. Prison officials quickly ruled out any foul play and concluded that it was an unfortunate accident. Olive Thomas was a fascinating figure in the entertainment industry during the early 20th century. Her career spanned from being a Ziegfeld Follies girl to becoming a silent film star. In 1916, Olive made her transition into the world of silent films and quickly gained popularity for her captivating performances. She starred in several successful movies, such as The Flapper and Out Yonder, establishing herself as one of Hollywood's rising stars. However, tragedy struck when Olive Thomas passed away at the young age of 25. On the night of September 5, 1920, while she and her husband were enjoying their vacation in Paris, and after a night of partying, they returned to their suite at the Hotel Ritz around 3 a.m., feeling intoxicated and tired. In her exhausted state, she accidentally ingested a topical medication that had been prescribed to her husband for his chronic syphilis. To make matters worse, the medication's label was in French, which may have added to her confusion. Realizing something was terribly wrong, she was immediately rushed to a hospital in Paris. Despite receiving medical attention, her condition deteriorated rapidly. Tragically, she passed away just 5 days later. Mark Fidrych burst onto the scene in the 1970s, captivating fans with his unconventional pitching techniques and animated mound antics. His talent and passion for the game quickly earned him the nickname The Bird. During his rookie season with the Detroit Tigers in 1976, Fidrych became an instant sensation. He won Rookie of the Year honors and was selected to represent the American League in the All-Star game. His impressive record included a remarkable 2.34 ERA, earned run average, and an incredible 24 complete games. Shortly thereafter, however, injuries derailed his career, which ended after just 5 seasons in the major leagues. A family friend found Fidrych dead beneath his 10-wheel dump truck at his home around 2:30 p.m. on April 13, 2009. He appeared to have been working on the truck at the time of the accident. Authorities said Fidrych suffocated after his clothes had become entangled with a spinning power takeoff shaft on the truck. The Massachusetts State Medical Examiner's Office ruled the death an accident. Earl Anthony. Known as one of the greatest professional bowlers of all time, Earl Anthony's career was nothing short of legendary. He dominated the bowling world throughout the 1970s and 1980s, winning a record-breaking 43 Professional Bowlers Association (PBA) tour titles. His remarkable consistency and precision on the lanes earned him the nickname The Machine. Earl Anthony, death by stairs. Earl Anthony died in 2001 due to head injuries sustained from falling down a flight of stairs at his friend Ed Bohr's home in New Berlin, Wisconsin. Rumor has it he may have tripped over the cat. He was 63 years old. Russ Columbo was an American singer, songwriter, and actor who made his mark in the entertainment industry during the 1920s and 1930s. He had a unique and captivating voice that enchanted audiences across the nation. Throughout his career, Russ Columbo released numerous hit songs that topped the charts and captured the hearts of listeners. His soulful renditions of classics like You Call It Madness, But I Call It Love, and Prisoner of Love left audiences spellbound. His success led him to Hollywood, where he starred in several films such as Wake Up and Dream and The Texan. Columbo's on-screen charisma combined with his musical abilities solidified his status as a versatile entertainer. On Sunday, September 2, 1934, Columbo was shot under peculiar circumstances by his longtime friend, photographer Lansing Brown, while Columbo was visiting him at home. Brown had a collection of firearms, and the two men were examining various pieces. Quoting Brown's description of the accident, "I was absent-mindedly fooling around with one of the guns. It was of a dueling design and works with a cap and trigger. I was pulling back the trigger and clicking it time after time. I had a match in my hand, and when I clicked, apparently the match caught in between the hammer and the firing pin. There was an explosion. Russ slid to the side of his chair. The ball ricocheted off a nearby table and hit Columbo above the left eye. Surgeons at Good Samaritan Hospital made an unsuccessful attempt to remove the ball from Columbo's brain. He died less than 6 hours after the shooting." Roy Kinnear had a remarkable career that spanned across film, television, and stage. He was known for his versatile acting skills and his ability to bring characters to life with his unique charm and comedic timing. Roy Kinnear began his career in the 1960s, appearing in various British television shows such as The Avengers and Doctor Who. He quickly gained recognition for his comedic talent and became a familiar face on both the small and big screens. Tragically, Kinnear's career was cut short. Roy Kinnear, death by horse. On the 19th of September 1988, Kinnear fell from a horse during the making of The Return of the Musketeers in Toledo, Spain, and sustained a broken pelvis and internal bleeding. He was taken to a hospital in Madrid, but died the next day from a heart attack brought on by his injuries. He was 54 years old. Jeffrey Hunter had a fascinating career in the entertainment industry. He was an American actor known for his versatile roles in film and television. Hunter's career took off in the 1950s when he starred in movies like The Searchers alongside John Wayne. He showcased his acting prowess with compelling performances that captured the attention of both audiences and critics. One of Hunter's most iconic roles was that of Captain Christopher Pike in the original pilot episode of Star Trek. Although the pilot was not initially picked up, it eventually led to the creation of one of the most beloved science fiction franchises in history. Sadly, Jeffrey Hunter's promising career was cut short. Jeffrey Hunter, death by banister. On the afternoon of May 26, 1969, Hunter suffered an intracranial hemorrhage while walking downstairs at his home. He fell, knocked over a planter, and struck his head on the banister, fracturing his skull. He was found unconscious by a friend and taken to Valley Presbyterian Hospital, where he underwent brain surgery. He died at about 9:30 the following morning at the age of 42. Boris Sagal had an impressive career in the entertainment industry. Boris started his career in the 1950s, directing episodes for popular TV series such as The Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock. He quickly gained recognition for his storytelling abilities and unique visual style. In the 1960s, Sagal made a successful transition to directing feature films. Some of his notable works include The Omega Man, starring Charlton Heston, and Mosquito Squadron, featuring David McCallum. However, it was in the realm of television where Sagal truly left his mark. He directed numerous episodes for iconic shows like The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Columbo, and Quincy M.E. Tragically, his career was cut short in 1981. Boris Sagal, death by helicopter. Sagal died in an accident during production of the miniseries World War III, when he walked into the tail rotor blades of a helicopter in the parking lot of the Timberline Lodge in Oregon. An investigation revealed that he turned the wrong way after exiting the helicopter. He died 5 hours later in a Portland hospital. Cliff Simon is a South African actor who has graced both the small and big screens. He started his career as a professional athlete representing South Africa in gymnastics and diving. However, it was his passion for acting that eventually took center stage. His breakout role came in the hit TV series Stargate SG-1, where he portrayed the charismatic and enigmatic villain throughout the show's run. His portrayal earned him a loyal fan base and critical acclaim. Cliff Simon, death by kiteboarding. Cliff Simon lost his life to a fatal accident on March 9, 2021. The news regarding his sudden demise was announced by his wife Colette Simon on Facebook. She revealed in her long post that her beloved husband passed away after a tragic kiteboarding accident at Topanga Beach, California. All right, let's dive into the fascinating career of Owen Hart. Known for his incredible athleticism and charismatic persona, Owen Hart made a significant impact in the world of professional wrestling. Owen Hart began his career in the late 1980s, following in the footsteps of his legendary wrestling family. Throughout his career, Owen Hart competed in various promotions such as World Wrestling Entertainment, formerly known as WWF, WCW, and Stampede Wrestling. He held multiple championships, including the Intercontinental Championship and Tag Team Championship titles. One of Owen's most memorable storylines was his feud with his older brother Bret, the Hitman Hart. Their intense rivalry captivated audiences around the world and resulted in some truly epic matches. Their clash at WrestleMania 10 is still considered one of the greatest matches in World Wrestling Entertainment history. On May 23, 1999, Hart fell to his death in Kansas City, Missouri, during a pay-per-view event. Hart was in the process of being lowered via harness and grapple line into the ring from the rafters of Kemper Arena. He was to begin a dramatic entrance, being lowered to just above ring level, at which time he would act entangled, then release himself from the safety harness and fall flat on his face for comic effect. This necessitated the use of a quick release mechanism. Unfortunately, this mechanism broke while he was being lowered into the ring, and Hart fell 78 feet to his death. Naya Rivera's career was nothing short of impressive. She rose to fame as an actress, singer, and model, captivating audiences with her talent and charisma. Best known for her role as Santana Lopez on the hit TV show Glee, in addition to her acting career, Rivera also pursued music. She released several singles throughout the years, showcasing her powerful voice and versatility as an artist. Tragically, Naya Rivera's life was cut short in 2020. On July 8, 2020, Rivera's 4-year-old son, Jose, was found alone in Rivera's rented boat at Lake Piru, a reservoir in the Los Padres National Forest in Ventura County, California. Rivera had been visiting the lake for years. Apparently the two had been swimming when suddenly she was caught in a freak riptide. She managed to get her son to the boat before disappearing beneath the water. She was 33 years old. Wong Ka Kui was a talented musician and singer-songwriter who had an impactful career in the music industry. Born on June 10, 1962, he rose to fame as the lead vocalist and guitarist of the rock band Beyond. During his career, he wrote and composed numerous hit songs that resonated with fans across Asia. His heartfelt lyrics and powerful vocals touched the hearts of many listeners. Some of his most popular songs include Glorious Years, Boundless Oceans, Vast Skies, and Love You. Wong's career was cut short when he suffered a fatal accident during a promotional appearance at a popular game show. Wong and his band arrived in Japan in January 1993 to record new material and engage in media appearances. On the 24th of June, 1993, the band appeared at a Tokyo Fuji Television game show called If Uchanan-chan is Going to Do It, We Have to Do It. 15 minutes after the show commenced, an accident occurred. The stage floor was very narrow and slippery, and Wong and host both slipped and fell off the platform. They fell 10 feet to the ground. Wong landed head first and immediately slipped into a coma. The host landed on Wong's chest and received no serious injury. Wong was rushed to the hospital and died 6 days later from his injuries. Anne Heche's career was a fascinating journey filled with diverse roles and memorable performances. Anne Heche first gained recognition for her role in the hit television series Another World, where she portrayed the character of Vicky Hudson. This breakout role led to numerous opportunities in both film and television. To the 1997 film Donnie Brasco opposite Johnny Depp, and her acclaimed portrayal of Marion Crane in the TV series Bates Motel, Heche consistently showcased her versatility as an actress. In the late 1990s, Anne Heche starred alongside Harrison Ford in the blockbuster film 6 Days, 7 Nights. She also appeared in a wide range of projects, from independent films to popular television shows such as Hung and Chicago PD. But tragically, her life would be cut short in what can only be described as a series of strange and bizarre events. On August 5, 2022, Heche was involved in a sequence of 3 strange and bizarre motor vehicle collisions in the Mar Vista neighborhood of Los Angeles. The first collision took place when her vehicle struck an apartment garage and caused minor damage. A video released by TMZ shows her vehicle, a Mini Clubman at the scene of the collision, and an unidentified man repeatedly shouting, "Out of the car!" at the driver. The vehicle then reversed and left the scene of the collision. TMZ also reported a second hit-and-run in which she struck another vehicle without stopping. A doorbell video recorded in the moments before the final crash, which shows her vehicle driving along a neighborhood street at a very high speed, followed a few seconds later by the sound of a crash. Her vehicle struck a house, broke through a wall, and embedded itself 30 feet into the building and catching fire. Anne Heche was gone at the age of 53.